Hello, this is Jeff Corder, pastor of Forest Hills Presbyterian Church. And we just got done last Sunday celebrating Easter. We're still in the middle of a coronavirus crisis. And so a lot of people might feel a little depressed because Easter is this big celebration, resurrection, things are all new, rebirth, spring is here, all this wonderful stuff. And yet here we are, we're still trapped indoors. We can't see our friends and family in person. We have restrictions on travel. It doesn't seem very Easter-like. In fact, it feels a lot like Saturday, and we're still in the tomb waiting to get out. So I just wanted to share a few thoughts about that. Easter in the Christian calendar is not just a single day. In fact, we're in that period of the church year that is traditionally called Eastertide, which are 6 Sundays after Easter, which culminates in Pentecost, which is the celebration of the Holy Spirit coming on the day of Pentecost, which is 50 days after Easter. So the first thing I want to encourage you to realize is that Easter isn't just a single day. As a matter of fact, every Sunday in some ways is a remembrance of Easter because that's what the early church did. They started meeting on the first day of the week to remember the resurrection every day of the year or every week of the year. So it'll take us some time to get through this period of waiting until the virus subsides and we can meet once again in person. I want to encourage you, though, to think about remaining spiritually encouraged during this time. Earlier today, I was on a webcast with the New York Interfaith Department of Interfaith Health Services, and it's a network of churches and other faith organizations that are concerned about public health and emergencies and disasters. One of the things that one of the presenters spoke about, a Reverend Fred Mead from United Church of Christ, he said, resiliency is something that we need to focus on. And there were 3 keys that he gave to being resilient, both as an individual and as a community. So I wanted to share that with you today as we're waiting for Easter to emerge more and more in our country and around the world. The first thing he mentioned is community. Community is a big part of being resilient. So finding ways to be community, to talk to people that you know, to spend time with people online or on the phone or email. So that's one, is being community and finding community and engaging socially as best we're able with a community. The second thing he brought up was caring for others. Now, this is a little bit more difficult for a lot of people because with the limitations that are in place now, we might not be able to do as much as we used to for caring for others. We might not be able to go to their houses. We might not be able to take food to people who need it. We might not be able to volunteer as we used to. But there still are ways to care for others, and that keeps us resilient as people. Making phone calls becomes much more important. If you have ways of volunteering, do that now so that you focus on the ability to help others, and that will strengthen your sense of worth and encouragement. The third thing he said was mindfulness, and this is where we get into spiritual practices, meditation, prayer, reading things that are uplifting to your spirit, whether that's the scriptures or poetry or books that you enjoy. I get a big kick out of reading children's books, to be real honest. Sometimes they have the best message for me that I can find anywhere. And so whatever it is that keeps your outlook positive, focused on what is of highest value, which is love and relationships and caring. those things become more important. So remember community, caring for others, and mindfulness as we continue to go through this period of time. Even though we proclaim Jesus is risen, that doesn't mean that everything has gone to a new way of being outside. We're still stuck inside. But inside of ourselves, we can still rejoice. We still can find ways of being community. We can find ways of caring for others. We can find spiritual practices to maintain us while we're homebound. I just wanted to share that with you and welcome you to join us. We're going to try some new things on Sunday mornings. And so on this channel, we'll be again this Sunday at 11 o'clock. Hope to see you then. Blessings.